The stable of Biscon Communications, producers of the Bisiola Chile Show, Nigeria's #1 general interest magazine show, comes BOS International Magazine. With BOS International Magazine, you can now enjoy the best of two worlds with Biscon Communications, the emerging media conglomerate. BOS International Magazine keeps you constantly in touch with events on the social scene as they happen, global news, politics, sports, special interviews, fashion and style, and essential tips about life and living. BOS International Magazine is a complete package of entertainment and education at your doorsteps. Ask your vendor for a copy today. We welcome distributors across the country. Concerned about the fast-falling standard of the Yoruba culture and language among those who constitute the core Yoruba ethnic group, predominant in the southwestern part of Nigeria, the Yoruba Education Trust Fund, YET Fund, a non-governmental and non-political organization, has been formed to save the Yoruba language and culture from extinction. Drawn from different professions, the military, the academia, the media, law, corporate business, banking, financial, as well as the traditional institutions, the Yoruba Education Trust Fund, YET Fund's chairman, Senator Olabi Drojai, is supported by illustrious sons and daughters of Yoruba land who have made their distinct mark in their diverse areas of callings. In his opening remarks at the public lecture, fundraising and award ceremony organized by the Yoruba Education Trust Fund, which took place at the Sheraton Hotel and Towers, Ikeja, Senator Olabi Drojai thanked those he described as proud sons and daughters of Oodua, who have shown uncommon commitment and dedication to the cause of the project. He further elucidated on the aims and objectives of the YET Fund program, enjoining all bona fide Yoruba sons and daughters at home and in the diaspora to lend their support to the project, especially in terms of funds to support the education of all Yoruba students. This way, we shall consolidate our position as the most educated and enlightened segment of the Nigerian population.
It is indeed a great privilege to welcome this august gathering to the maiden public lecture, fundraising, and award ceremony organized by the Yoruba Education Trust Fund, YET Fund. On behalf of the Governing Council, I recognize and thank everyone here present today, particularly our hard-working, industrious, and progressive governors from the southwest of Nigeria, who have continued to support the gigantic and noble project that the YET Fund has embarked upon.
In their separate remarks at the occasion, other dignitaries like Senator Oluremi Tinubu, Oba Frederick Akinruntan, the Olugbo of Ugbo Kingdom, who was the royal father of the day, Professor Mrs. Kosoko, Engineer Wumi Jasper, and the representative of Ogun State Governor, as well as Governor Ralph Aregbesola, who was the special guest of honor. They all praised the initiative, which they say has come at a most opportune time in Nigeria's political evolution. There was a consensus agreement among them that a well-educated and enlightened society can only come from entrepreneurs and self-employed people equipped with technical and vocational skills. They further suggested that the provision of educational infrastructure and scholarship grants be made available to students to help them accomplish their education with less problems.
The Ondo State is one state in Nigeria that has come closest to UNESCO recommendation of 26% vote education sector. In 2013, like I said, we voted and released, we voted and released 23% of our budget to education. And in the current, for next year, the estimate which we brought to the Assembly last week, we have proposed 20.6% of the entire budget to education.
To encourage the learning and speaking of Yoruba language, especially by the youth, parents were advised to make the Yoruba language a regular part of their daily lives in their different homes. The organization of seminars, conferences, lectures, and workshops aimed at looking at a way of getting Yoruba youth and elders to refresh their knowledge and expertise in the use of the Yoruba language and better assimilation of the Yoruba culture were also canvassed at the event. The findings of a research conducted by the Governing Council of the Yoruba Education Trust Fund, YET Fund, on how to improve the Yoruba language and culture, put together in form of a document titled The Roadmap of Educational Improvement in Yoruba Land, was distributed to everyone. It enumerated in details the areas that needed to be urgently tackled to bring the Yoruba nation back to its preeminent position as the most educated, enlightened, and indeed discerning people in Nigeria. In the lecture delivered by Professor Durojaye Ajayalemi of the University of Lagos, which looked at the importance of the Yoruba heritage and how to improve the education of the Yoruba people with indices of the educational advancement of all the Yoruba-speaking states, most eloquently articulated, Lagos and Ogun states led the way while others followed. The lecturer admonished the governors of the Yoruba-speaking states of Lagos, Oyo, Ogun, Ekiti, Osun, and Ondo to galvanize more efforts to focus on the improvement of teaching and learning of the Yoruba language, especially from primary through secondary schools, a period considered as the impressionable years for teenagers. This is to complement the efforts of the Yoruba Education Trust Fund to properly position the Yoruba language in the scheme of things in Yoruba land and in Nigeria.
The poor performance of candidates from the Southwest in the WAEC or NECO SSC results in the past 5 years, 2008 to 2010, is obviously indicative of the poor quality of education in Yoruba land. During the period, less than 30% of candidates in 4 of the 6 states, Ondo, Osun, Ekiti, and Oyo, obtained credit passes or above in 5 subjects, including English and mathematics, in the NECO SSC, for example, and therefore, only less than 30% qualified for tertiary education admission. The way forward, all the observed inadequacies in the system are traceable to the low level of investments in the education sector by the different stakeholders, governments, parents, communities, corporate Nigeria, etc. This is to say that for the Yoruba competitive in education to be resuscitated, massive investments in the sector at all levels are needed. First, to renew the dilapidating infrastructure and add more standard facilities to expand access. Provide the necessary teaching learning resources, including a renewed curriculum, to expand teaching learning in conducive learning environments. We need to provide funds to enhance quality assurance mechanisms, strengthen the capacity of teachers and administrators through retraining and continuous education programs. And also we need to improve on general school services and promote the welfare of the teaching and non-teaching staff. Yet, at this meeting public lecture fundraising and award ceremony, is hereby appealing to the critical mass of Yoruba people at home and in diaspora, their friends and their associates, who will lend their support to raising a 50 billion naira fund, which will form the seed money for an endowment fund. The fund will be used to support the government efforts in equipping Yoruba sons and daughters with qualitative, didactic, and vocational education, which will prepare them for responsible adult citizenship. With the caliber of the single Yoruba achievers in the Board of Trustees, the fund will be professionally managed.
In his address at the occasion, which he further buttressed with multimedia presentation, Governor Ralph Aregbesola, who endorsed the forward-looking steps taken by YET Fund, which he promised Osun State government will support wholeheartedly, proudly told the gathering about the quantum leap his administration has taken in the area of education, with a great difference recorded in the excellent showing of students from the state in the WAEC and NECO examinations. Governor Aregbesola said that Osun State, as the bastion of Yoruba language and culture, cannot afford not to take its rightful place. Governor Ralph Aregbesola emphasized the important role education plays in the development of any society.
My paper is titled A Compelling Moral Case for Education Reform. May I begin by acknowledging the noble vision for development behind the establishment of Yoruba Education Trust Fund, YET Fund. By establishing this fund, Yoruba elders are once again demonstrating that Yoruba land is blessed with leaders who have foresight and the interests of their people at heart. I should therefore like to thank the Executive Council of YETFund for organizing today's lecture and fundraising, as well as the award ceremony that's accompanying the program. YETFund is another innovative step taken by well-meaning elders of the Yoruba land to arrest the insupportable rot that is besetting the education sector in the country. Meant primarily as an intervention fund to provide education infrastructure in public schools, Yoruba-speaking states, and Edo, YETFund will be deployed in 6 major focus areas of education development, which are capacity building, curriculum development, school management, school infrastructure, educational support services, and informal adult and technical education, otherwise known as vocational training. One of the main objectives of YETFund is to bring back the era of Chief Oba, which is known for the quality free education he introduced and assiduously worked on. And we have the like of Baba Kekere, then, Baba now. Allow you to push between 79 and 83. Very, very serious. That was a golden period in the issue of education in Western region that many of us still recall with deep feeling of nostalgia. It is a matter of profound regret that the past era of success in education is being invoked as a model to be restored in the present era, where we should be marveling at the degree of progress we have achieved since that time.
State governments that were considered to have done well in the development of Yoruba language, which included Lagos, Ogun, and Osun states, were given special awards, while the students who came tops in the Yoruba subjects of the WAEC and NECO examinations were also honored at the event. Governor Ralph Aregbesola was giving a special award for revolutionizing education, especially Yoruba language and culture in Osun State.
This national recognition for your international recognition already conferred on you as a matter of distinction and benefit.
While the giant leap forward by the Yoruba Education Trust Fund, YETFund, is commended, here's a clarion call on all bona fide Yoruba sons and daughters, wherever they may be, at home and abroad, to make Yoruba language and culture a prominent part of their everyday lives and living. To protect the sanctity of the Yoruba language and culture is a task every proud son and daughter of Yoruba land must be ready to shoulder. Odua Agbe Ugbo Wow.